The Foot Cave, the final frontier. These are the videos of the Foot Pick.
What the fuck was that?
His mission is to talk about movies and to boldly Blu-ray go where no man has gone before.
Just look at that Enterprise right there. That is epic. Speaking of epic, how did you like the intro? Anyway, I actually picked this Enterprise up from the Crazy Jason. He's a fellow movie enthusiast here on YouTube. He's all about movies and Blu-rays. I'll put a link to his channel down below. Definitely check him out. And by the way, at the end of this video, we're going to talk more about this Enterprise right here. But first, let's kick this thing into warp drive and talk about Star Trek Into Darkness on Blu-ray. Do you guys want to see my impression of J.J. Abrams? Check this out. Huh? You like those lens flares? That's literally what he does in his movies. He shines a flashlight in the camera. Just adding a lens flare to me reclining this chair makes it more epic. Look at this. Wait, there we go. Okay, that's enough with the lens flares. Okay, I'm going to recline for the remainder of this Blu-ray review. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. Here's the Blu-ray here. It has the Blu-ray 3D, the regular Blu-ray, the DVD, and digital combo. Actually, that's a lie. It's just the digital copy. It's actually a code. You have to go online. It's more of an inconvenience. By the way, I'm going to be a nice guy. If you guys haven't seen the movie, or if you have, first one to get the code can have it. There you go. Okay, let's dive into detail about this 3D release of Star Trek Into Darkness. They have a lot of different editions of this Blu-ray out, and a lot of them are kind of like the studio basically cheating the consumer. And what I mean by that is like Best Buy, Target, Walmart, they all have different editions. They each have different special features. Like some of the features come with the movies, like the one at Target, and on other editions you have to go home and download them. Like what? Like yeah, I'm gonna go buy that one where I have to go home and download the special features. The 3D edition is by far the best. It has this like lenticular cover of the Enterprise going down in flames. Okay, let's briefly talk about Star Trek Into Darkness, the movie itself. Now, I seen this movie in the theater this summer 2 times. The first time I watched it in IMAX. By the way, they actually only shot about 30 minutes of this movie with actual IMAX cameras. Now, a few things I really enjoyed about this movie was it was just so fun and easy to get through. This is pretty much the definition of popcorn fun. It was kind of an immersive movie for the most part. You get sucked into it. You feel like you're in space. You know, there's Peter Weller over there. He's the captain of the Vengeance. There's Alice Eve over there in her underwear. And there's Spock over there. Even though he's a Vulcan, and he doesn't really show much emotion, or he's not supposed to, because that's the Vulcan way. But in this movie, he's always emotional. Have you guys ever noticed that? Like, Spock in these movies is either angry, mad, upset, or he's kind of pretending like he's not mad. So pretty much he's very emotional, even though Vulcans technically aren't. But I'm not complaining. And the thing I really liked about this movie for the most part was it had a good villain. You guys remember the first Star Trek movie back in 2009? It had Eric Bana. Now listen, I'm a huge fan of Eric Bana, but his character Nero, I always get it wrong. Just don't correct me. Hello, my name's Nero. And I thought that was the weakest element of the first movie. But in this movie you have, what is his name? Give me a second. Okay, where is it? The synopsis is only like a paragraph long. Okay, there it is. Benedict Cumberbatch. I knew it. A quick slight spoiler on his character in this movie, and if you don't want to be spoiled, put your earmuffs on. You got them on? Okay. Benedict Cumberbatch actually plays the villain Khan in this movie. I thought his villainous character in this movie was pretty good overall. Now, a few plot elements in this movie might get a little bit convoluted. You know, you have the whole rocket missile thing with the frozen bodies in them. But you know what? I just accepted it for what it was and had a good time with the movie. And by the way, did I mention Alice Eve's in her underwear in this movie? Okay, now it's time for my favorite part of the Blu-ray review, and that's talking about picture quality and audio quality. Now, I did buy the 3D version. I don't actually own a 3D TV, not yet. I plan on upgrading eventually, but for the most part, I bought it because I like this edition the best. So I can't really give you much insight to the 3D of this movie other than the fact that it was post-converted and it looked pretty good in the theater. But what I am going to talk about is the picture quality on the standard Blu-ray. Okay, so the Blu-ray picture quality in Star Trek Into Darkness. Overall, I'm going to say this is definitely a solid transfer. The thing I really noticed in this movie, especially in the first 10 minutes of watching it, the opening shots of this movie take place on a foreign planet. They have like these red vivid trees. The inhabitants on the planet are actually painted white. There's volcanoes. It all looks really cool and very vivid and immersive on Blu-ray. The way I like to describe a very immersive Blu-ray is it lights up the pixels on my plasma screen TV. The radiation goes into my eyeballs and I'm just blown away by it. And the thing about this movie is it has so many different locations. You know, in the beginning of the movie you're on a planet, then they actually go to Starfleet Academy, then you're on a spaceship with all the lights and gadgets and pipes in the hallways, and then you're out in space. So if I had to give this Blu-ray picture quality grade, I'm definitely going to give this an A. And as far as the audio goes on this Blu-ray release, you know, my subwoofer was pounding its little heart out, my ears were bleeding. Top-notch audio, you know, set your phasers to stun because this thing's gonna blow your eardrums out. Okay, let's take a quick look at what bonus features are on this Blu-ray, or as they like to call them, extras. You have Creating the Red Planet, Attack on Starfleet, The Klingon Homeworld, Enemy of My Enemy, Ship to Ship, Brawl by the Bay, and Continuing the Mission. If you guys want a closer look at this Enterprise, or if you guys want to see a behind the scenes making of the intro that you've seen in the beginning of this video, check out my second channel, John Flickster. I'll put a link up here, annotation, link down below. I gotta give a big thanks to the Crazy Jason, fellow YouTube movie enthusiast, who also talks about Blu-rays. I'll put a link to his channel down below. Check him out, subscribe to his channel, and tell him the Flick Pick sent ya. Anyway, it's getting obnoxious. Here's my question to you. What is your favorite sci-fi film that takes place in space on Blu-ray? Like, which Blu-ray is it that, you know, goes in that sci-fi genre that just blows you away, you get immersed into it? Live long and Ooh, that's... Hang on, I gotta do my right hand. So anyway, guys, live long and prosper. I'll see you next time.